Good morning. Hi, how are you guys doing? I'm Karen Kong. I'm an Ottawa Stampin' Up! Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today is my This or That Thursday. Just give me a moment to set up on my computer so that I can make sure I can see your comments, okay? Just give me a second. If you're joining in live, I would love it if you would comment, or even after, or if you're watching the replay, I would love it if you comment and say hi and tell me what you think of the projects, okay? Okay, looks like I'm streaming online. Just opening up. All right. Okay. So yes, this is my This or That Thursday. I call it that because Wednesdays I try to post 2 cards or projects that that I ask people to vote on, and then I make whichever one gets the most votes on Thursday. So today we're making a bagalope, what they call a bagalope. It's like a little treat bag, and you make it out of just a plain old envelope. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so let me switch the camera over and set up my camera to look at my table, and we'll get started. So if you're prone to motion sickness, close your eyes. I'm going to switch my camera around, and I'll let you know when I'm ready. Just a second. Okay. Here we go. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right, so yesterday I posted 2 projects. One of them was the bagalope, and it's just a basically a little paper treat box, and it's made out of an envelope. So it's really cute. And the other one was a treat bag, which uses a cellophane bag and has the double-sided DSP. I think it looks really cute too. And I put Easter treats in it. I didn't have any Easter stamps, so I improvised and used my birds and branches stamps and dies instead. But you guys voted for the bagalope, so that's what we're going to do today, and I'm just going to put this away. I almost thought I might have to cancel this again. Last week I canceled because it was March break, and the kids were home, everybody's home. It was just too many things going on. But and then today was supposed to be freezing rain, but thankfully that did not happen, and everybody is at school, and the house is quiet. So these are the 3 colors I'm using: Early Expresso, Crumb Cake, and Just Jade. I'll put this stamp set away since we're not using it. And I use the Nothing's Better Than stamp set with the matching dies, which is Love You More Than dies. So I'm also using the 2020 to 2022 in color DSP, the Designer's Series paper. This is retiring this year and will no longer be available. These colors are going away. They're bringing in new ones. So I have this in color set of DSP that I'm going to use for this live. So, and of course I need an envelope. Oh, hi Tara. Sorry you can't join in, but hopefully you can catch it later. Okay, so this envelope, if you notice, has a curved edge to it, right? And the bagalope that I made has a straight edge. So it was inspired, I was inspired to make this when I saw a video that Stampin' Up! Posted back in December, and they made a bagalope that had like a candy cane pattern on the back, and they didn't do anything to the back flap. They just stamped the whole thing. But I don't have a stamp that I wanted to use that would cover the entire back flap. So I found a slightly different project where they trimmed it and they used DSP. So that's what we'll do. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the envelope, I'm going to trim off this gummed piece, and then it'll be a straight edge, and then we'll cut DSP for it. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is take out my paper trimmer. And I'm going to line up the bottom edge of the envelope with 5 3/4, and that will take off the top, just the top edge gummed flap. So I'm going to use the cutting blade, this is the scoring blade, and trim this off. So now it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to take my scoring blade and I'm going to score along the two sides and the bottom of the envelope. So at the 1-inch mark, so see I have the measurements on this side as well, so that makes it really easy to measure. So 1 inch all the way around. Okay, 1 inch on this side. One inch on this side, the bottom. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do next is a little bit different from what I did, because I'm going to try something else. Because, well, as you know, I mean, my lives are usually like more like a reality show. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's more like a reality show, so if things go wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. Things always happen when I'm doing this live. Nothing ever goes exactly as planned. So anyways, this original one had no color to it. I mean, sorry, no background color. So I think this time I think I'm going to add like a green shading, okay, which is what I saw them do in the demonstration. Although I think what I'm going to do is only add it to the front. So I'm going to need to mask it. You know what? I think it's okay. I'm going to do it the same way they did. I'm going to go all the way around. So I'm going to take my blending brush. And I'm going to take Just Jade. So the two colors I used, well, 3 colors. There's Just Jade, this is the DSP color as well, and then Crumb Cake and Early Expresso. So, and this is also Just Jade. So I'm going to take the Just Jade ink and I'm going to make a background color, and we'll just see how it goes. This is reality stamping. If it doesn't look good at the end, well, then I should have stuck to the original design. Okay. So I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add color here and here and go halfway up, because I want to have it kind of just like a, kind of like an ombre, like a blended kind of color. I'm not going to do the whole envelope in that color. Okay. All right, here goes. So I'm just rubbing in circles, and so you see how like when you come onto the paper it's kind of dark, so I kind of tap off on the side to hopefully avoid getting like a big dark color in one spot by accident, because I don't want it to all be in one spot like that. So I'm going to open this up so that my flap will not get covered. Although the flap will get covered by the DSP, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Okay, I'm going about halfway up, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side too. Go crazy, Sandra says. I don't know. All right, halfway up. This color is quite dark, so I get like a little blob there. I have to be very light on it. And actually, you know what? This part of it is probably gonna be underneath, so it probably won't be as visible anyways. But I love these blending brushes, you know. Oh, that's pretty big. See, I tell you, it's like reality crafting. There's no do-overs or like reshooting because this is like live. Oops, let's bring this up here. Okay. I want a tiny bit up, further up. Try not to be too heavy with the brush because you get so many dark spots. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so my chocolate image is in the middle of the back of the envelope because you see the flap is here. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and my image is going to go here. So I'm going to take the early espresso. And I need to get out my chocolate stamps. Okay, get my block. And stick it on. Actually, you know what I found? I found a tip. This doesn't really matter for the chocolate because they're one big solid piece, but I found that for, oh, I'll show you with the next, with the word stamps, that when you place them down, like I always found that the word stamps, I always twisted them just a tiny bit too much, and then you'd end up with it very slightly not straight, which bugs people like me because I'm OCD about straight. But I'll show you a trick that I saw about how to get that really straight. Sandra says the dark spots make the it look like expressions in ink. Yeah, no big deal. I just sorry, I keep banging the I noticed I banged the holder. It swings. I cannot get that to be secured. Okay, so let's just ink this up. I'm just making sure that I can see that the whole image is inked. I like to make sure. All right, so I'm going to put it in the middle, closer to the bottom, so that I have room for my tag on top. Okay. Oh. Perfect. All right, I need my stamp cleaner. So this is a stamp cleaner for those of you who haven't seen it before. They really handy. I don't know why I waited so long to get one. You basically just, it's like a chamois or something, not chamois. It's like, I don't know, there's raised bristles. There's like a pile on it, and I'm just gonna spray it. I'm gonna spray it using the Stampin' Mist. It's a cleaner. I don't want to spray my project by accident. Okay. And then you just rub it off and then dry it. Oh, Sandra says that I always do, she does all the two-step stamping with the outline, the inside first. I always do the outline first. I've never done it with the inside first. That's interesting. I didn't even think of that. Okay, so let's do the inside. Yeah, so if you don't know what two-step stamping is that it's when the stamp set comes with the outline of the image and then also the inside of the image when you stamp. So you have to stamp the same thing. To make the entire image, you have to stamp twice. Okay, so this is the inside of my chocolate. Okay, and I'm just thinking I did not use early espresso for that. I think I used a different brown. It just occurred to me that that's not the same brown. I think it's soft suede actually. Let me just double check that. I'm gonna go get the soft suede. Let's see. So let's just give that a try. I'm just going to stamp it on my scrap. Okay. Yes, I think that is soft suede. All right, so let's stamp that into the middle of our chocolate. I'm just reading Sandra's comment. Yes, if you're embossing, yeah, I guess you, I don't know. Yes, if you wanted to emboss the outline, you'd have to do the inside first. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to stamp it after you embossed. That's right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hopefully my head is not in the way because I need to line this up. Sorry. Okay, so I just needed to line that up. Otherwise, because I can't see from an angle. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a retro look, and it doesn't fill the entire inside of the chocolate, so that's totally fine that it's, you know, a tiny bit off center. Not a big deal. Okay, so I'm just going to clean my stamp again. Oops, the wrong side. This way. Okay, not a big deal. All right, so I'll put that aside, but I do need the other stamp back because what I'm going to do afterwards is stamp the outline around the sides and the back. Okay, I have all these, I have die cut some of these words out of scraps of paper, and I'm hanging on to them until I need them, but don't know where to store them, so I just stick them inside my my case so I know where they are. Oh yeah, I was going to pull these out so I have it for later. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to put the additional chocolate lines, chocolate images, that is, on the sides. So I want it to be on the side of my bag here. I don't want any more in my main area, so I'm going to stick to the sides here and then on the back as well. And I'm not going to do the bottom, so I'll stay above the score line. And I'm going to use Crumb Cake. So this actually fits onto a smaller block. I switched it. So Crumb Cake is a little bit lighter. It's just going to serve as a side image. So I'm just going to stamp there, here, here, maybe like this. Now I'll turn it over. Yeah, it's funny what you learn by watching how other people do things, because, you know, there's many ways you could complete this project. Okay. Okay. And you know what? I want it to go off the bottom without actually going onto the bottom of the... I don't have a piece of scrap here. I don't want it to go onto the bottom of my envelope. I want to leave the bottom of my envelope free of stamps. Not a big deal. That's just what I want to do for this. So I'm just going to cover it up so that I can stamp like this. Turn it around. And maybe one more over here. All right, that's good. There's my stamp cleaner. Okay. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take my bone folder, which is just a handy tool, just a flat piece of plastic, and I'm using it to burnish the sides of my bagalope. Okay, so we'll do it in both directions so that it folds really well. So I'm just going to use this to press. Actually, don't use that side. I have accidentally used this side to press, and I actually got black from the image that they stamped here. So I just do both sides. I'll do the same thing with the bottom. Yeah, I've always thought like the two-step stamps, I don't know, it just made sense to me to do the outline first so I knew where I was going to fill in instead of doing the insides first. It's much easier to press with a bone folder than with my fingers, I have to say. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to make my bagalope. So I'm going to flatten the bag bottom. Okay, I'm going to press so it flattens out. Okay, and then where you see it comes to the sides here, oops, all the way to the side, I'm going to press it into a corner. Same thing over here. Okay, so that's pressed into a corner, and I'm just going to press these so that they stay open. Okay, and then I'm going to use, you could either use tear and tape or any kind of adhesive to stick these down. I think I'm just going to use some tear and tape for this. I think last time I used the glue dots, which are also just as effective. And I can't find the edge of this. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I don't need a whole lot. There's the edge. Okay. Yeah, you can use any adhesive here, really. When I saw the video from Stampin' Up, they used the Stampin' Seal, right? And then the other project that I watched on YouTube was they used glue dots. But I think I'll just use tear and tape. We'll see how this goes. I just need to fold it down, press. Press it down. Great. All right, so now you can see the chocolate images all the way around. All right. So the next thing I can do is that what they did was they actually glued this down in here, but you don't have to. I'm just debating whether or not I need to. Yeah, you know what? I think it'll be easier to fold down if I just put a little bit of adhesive here and stick those down. So I'm going to do that with the tear and tape as well. Okay. I'm just going to put this on the inside here. And another piece. Okay, take off the backing. Okay, so now it lies, you can see it's flat when I close it. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is work on this DSP part. So all it is 1¼ inches by 3¾ inches of this. And don't worry, I will post the measurements afterwards and the description of this video. So don't have to take any notes. I will post it. Okay, so get my paper trimmer out again. Yes, I agree, Sandra. That bone folder, I didn't get it for a while either. I thought, yeah, I don't really need that. And then after a while, you know, when you press with your fingers, it's not as crisp as a fold, and it's just nicer and it lies flatter when you use the bone folder. So it is a really nice tool to have. Okay, so let's just go back to this. 1¼ inches by 3¾ inches is what I need. Okay, so I want the pattern to be vertical. So I need 1¼ inches this way. So I'm going to measure it over here, 1¼ inches. Whoops, and this is the scoring blade. I use the cutting blade. And then 3¾ 3¾ Okay. Then I also need a 1/2 inch. So this is Just Jade on the bottom here. I just need to get out a strip of Just Jade. Just gotta find some. Okay, Just Jade. I have a whole bunch of scraps that will hopefully one of them will be the right size. Let's see. Is this the right size? Is this a 1/2 inch? That is a 1/2 inch. Ooh, nice. Okay, if you don't notice, like I'm using like the what do they call it? It's basically like a scrap, not scrap paper, but it's like a desk paper mat. What do you call it? I can't remember. But anyways, it has like, you can't see it here. Let me just tilt this a little bit. But there is like a grid along the sides and the bottom of the paper, right? Did you see that? It was like right here. So there's inches. I always think in inches. I don't work in centimeters when I'm working with card making and stuff. But yeah, I can easily just use the grid to line it up and figure out, oh yeah, this is 1/2 inch. So that's 1/2 inch. That's the right width. I'm just gonna need to cut it to the right length. Okay, so it was 3¾ that I need. So 3¾ Okay, then I'm going to, so I want this to just overlap this by a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tear and tape along the bottom here because it's thin enough, because I don't want it to stick out too far. Okay, so there. Ooh, right length, just the right. Yes, the Retiring in Colors grid paper is on sale right now too. Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen already, there is a last chance products sale going on. It just started yesterday at 3 p.m. and Stampin' Up! Is discounting a whole pile of retiring products. Not everything that's retiring is on sale, but there's lots of stuff to be had. So check it out. The link is in my group. Okay, so I just want to stick this on. That looks straight. But you know what? That was not the side I wanted to use. I can tell, I don't know about you guys, but I can tell which side of my paper when I cut it. There's like a little raised lip on one side, and I don't like having that show up in the finished project. I like to make sure that that side is down. But you can always use the bone folder and press that edge down if you make a mistake and you need to use the other side. I can tell that's not straight. Sorry, this is the OCD in me. I have to make that straight. And that's why I didn't press it. Okay, let's work with this side. That's better. You can see that's better. Okay. All right. So this is just going to go right onto the flap back here. Okay. So I'm going to put my tape on here because it's easier than, well, it doesn't matter. Either way. So I'm going to put the adhesive on and then we'll stick on the DSP. It's a pretty easy project. Like, I think the bagalope, when I saw it, I thought that was super cute, and like it's just so cool that it uses like the just a plain envelope, and then you can add whatever DSP or stamp set you want to use for the gift, for the treats inside. Okay, I need to get this backing off. There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to stick it on. Oh, I remember why I didn't want to do it on the back of this. Because there's going to be a slight overhang of the lip here over the edge, and I didn't want to have adhesive accidentally sticking out. If I put it on the back of the DSP, I would have to guess where. See? That's... So now I don't have any adhesive sticking out because it's on the flap. Alright, so that's the flap. And now I'm going to make my... Oh, you know what? I should have stamped those little stars. I completely forgot I wanted to add little stars to it. I wonder if I can still do that right now. That's not going to happen. See, this is why they call it reality stamping. Yeah, so I forgot the little stars that I wanted to put here. We'll see if I can add them later, but let's finish the tag first. Okay, so the tag I used, oh, I didn't get out my double oval punch. Let me just get that. Okay, so this punch is not retiring. And actually the Love You More Than dies and the Nothing's Better Than are not retiring either. So those are still available in the new catalog. Okay, so this is the double oval punch. And I'm going to, I wonder if this, oh, perfect. My leftover piece of DSP will be the center piece, so I'm just going to cut that first. So when it's a little piece of paper, you just have to, you know what? I jiggle it into place, or I take my Take Your Pick tool because it's got that putty end, and I can, see this one's already sort of in place, but sometimes I can't move it around because nothing's sticking out the sides, right? So I was like, oh, trying to like use my finger to move it, but then it wouldn't move because my finger would slide. So I use my Take Your Pick tool, and it sticks to it a little bit, and then I can move it around as I need to. So I want it to straighten out a little bit because it's the, you know what? I just realized that I used the other side. So I'm gonna, yes, it's this side. Although it doesn't really matter which side I punch. It'll still be the same. Okay, but this is the side I'm going to use for my tag today. So I'm just going to try and line it up, and I use my Take Your Pick tool to kind of move it into position. It's a little bit off right now, because I can see it's crooked. Okay, that's good enough. Punch. Okay, so that's the middle. Now I gotta do the outside, which is in Crumb Cake. I did that in Crumb Cake, so let me get some Crumb Cake out. Let's see. Again, I am digging through my scraps. I always save my scraps inside my packaging, and hope that I can reuse it because I hate throwing away big scraps. See, look at this scrap. It's just big enough. Perfect. Sandra says she needs to find people who will appreciate this kind of packaging. Yeah, it's true. At least if you give it to your family, you know, you can admire your handiwork at home. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay, so there's the punch. I'll put that away. If you don't know that these punches lock and then they store flat, so that's really nice. Okay, so this is my sentiment. You know what? I'm going to take out my Stamparatus because with words, I like to be able to, you know what? I'm debating whether or not I should use a Stamparatus or just put it on a block, and I think the chocolate is fine. Actually, let's just, oh, I wanted to show you, I know why. I wanted to show you how I get the words to not wiggle and not be, to be on a straight line when you use it, when you stamp it. Okay, because I had that problem. Okay, today is a chocolate kind of day, so I need, today is, where is it? Oh, here it is. Today is okay. So you know how these photopolymer stamps, they're flexible, right? Which is good because there are times when you're going to want to maybe perhaps stamp something on a rainbow, on a curved edge, and you could actually lay it on your stamp block in a curve and match it, which is really cool. But when you want it to lie straight, then when I'm positioning it on the block, I find that my fingers wiggle, and then I unintentionally get a wiggly line, or the line isn't straight. So I found out a way to not do that. So I just lay it down on my paper, and because I'm not touching it, it's not being, the stamp isn't being wiggled, you know. And so when it's straight and I lay the flat side, with the flat side up, I can just stick my block right on top of it. Actually, I can use a smaller one. So I'm just going to stick my block right on top of it, and it won't wiggle, and I'll get a straight stamp. Okay, that's my trick. A magnetic adhesive? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sandra. Which, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Magnetic adhesive. Okay, so here's the sentiment. Here's the early espresso. Okay, I'm going to stamp it on the top of my oval. So it's going to be, today is a chocolate kind of day. Okay. So I'm going to pull it down a little more so I can see it better. And I use the grid lines to help me straighten things, to keep things straight. So now I know this is straight across. And I kind of use it as a visual guide when I'm putting my stamp down too. So I'm putting this here. Okay, you can't press too hard or roll the words because then you'll get a blurry image. Oh good, it turned out well. Okay, just going to clean off my stamp. And I'm going to get the other word, which is kind of day. The other phrase, part of the phrase is kind of day. Again, just going to put the flat side up. And I get stop sticking to me. Okay, then I'll just stick it on top. Okay, I'll just ink it up. And it's going to go on the bottom. Oh, I gotta straighten this out again so I can use it as my visual guide. I need to leave enough room for the chocolate die cut. Okay, perfect. All right. So now I need the word chocolate. So I'm going to grab my die for the word chocolate. Let's just make some room for my stamp, my cut and emboss machine, so I can show that to you. And for those of you who like the idea of the cut and emboss machine but aren't willing to, or aren't ready to commit to the large one, which is more expensive, the mini one is on sale right now. It's 20% off. It's a great deal. I've been told that the cut and emboss machine never goes on sale, but here's the mini one and it's on sale, so that's a really good deal. Whoops, I dropped the plate. Okay, did I cover up my, move this guy out of the way. You can tell me where I put it later on when I go looking for it, because that's half the battle of trying to find something that you made and then you put it somewhere or whatever tool. Okay, so I need the word chocolate. Yeah, again, see? I lost my die. What did I do with the die? The chocolate die, where did I put it? I just had it a second ago. It's not on the bottom, is it? See what I mean about reality crafting? It never goes as a... Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Found it, and I need a piece of early Expresso paper to cut it out of. So let's hope I have another piece of leftover scrap. Ooh, yes, hang on. That might be just long enough. Whoops. Let's see. I think this is perfect. Oh, I'm so lucky today. All right, so put the die on top of my scrap. And I'm gonna take my plate. And if you think that this is complicated, it's not complicated at all, because like Stampin' Up! Has all these layers you gotta put through, but they put the instructions right on the plate. So it tells you exactly which ones you need for whatever cutting you're doing. And then once you get the hang of it, it's really simple. Okay, here we go. So I'm rolling it through. There we go. There's my word chocolate. So cute. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put that aside. You don't want to leave these scraps on your die cutting plates, because they will make impressions on the next piece of paper if you roll it through like that. I found that out the hard way. Okay, so there's the word chocolate. Where did my, oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this to this, right? And then I'll glue this on top. There's just enough room for it. Okay, so here we go. This one I'm just gonna use my Stamp and Seal. Okay. Oh, wrong one. See, reality crafting. I don't want to stick that side because I want to leave a border, and I don't know exactly how much I need to leave, so I have to put the adhesive on here. All right, hopefully that's not showing. We'll see. You know what? It is showing a little. I'm gonna roll it back I can just use my finger to roll the adhesive back from the edge. Let's see. See, okay, now that won't show. That's fine. Saved. Alright, so again, I'm using my grid paper to help me line this up. That looks good. Then I'm going to cover it with chocolate. So I'm going to use glue for this. Now I kind of have to be really careful because only parts of this is stuck to this. If I try to stick it down here, it will bend the paper a little bit. Not a big deal, but it might not stick as well because it's on a slight angle. So I'm just going to stick it to the bottom of the C and just kind of guesstimating where I'm going to put glue. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to grab my tweezers too because those will be handy to pick those up when it's got glue on it. Do I have an adhesive eraser? I don't think I've ever heard of that. What is that, Sandra? Okay. So I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to make sure this is clean. There's a little bit of dry glue on it because I just want to put tiny dots of glue, which is great. With this, there is a glue that they sell that has an even finer tip, I've been told, but I find this one's okay. I can do it with this one. So I'm putting tiny dots of glue. It's not a big deal to do this. It's really easy. Okay, so since I know it's about here, I'm going to stop the glue there. And I'm not going to go up too far because I know that it'll go off the edge otherwise, like of this inner oval. Okay, and I know this top of the C. Let's just see now. I think that's probably enough glue. Let's put a little bit here. Okay. Oh, I've never heard of such a tool. I didn't even know such a thing existed, Sandra, the adhesive eraser. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to grab the edge so I can hold it by the side. It's easier to place it that way. So I don't want to cover up my words. I think that looks good. Like that. Good. I think that looks good. All right, so this is going to go on top like this. So because part of it, like if you were ready to seal it right away, then I guess you put adhesive all the way around the back and it wouldn't matter. But I'm not ready to seal it. I want to leave it open so I can put the chocolate in later or decide what I want to fill it up with. But I'm going to just put adhesive on the top half. Okay, so above where you see the word chocolate. So right here. I think I'll use this tear and tape actually so I don't have to press down on my tag. Okay. Just a little bit here on the top. Let's get the backing off. Okay. So I'm not too concerned about the word sticking out the side because it's going to be on the flap. Oops. I just want to see where it's going to end up, how far down to put it, but approximately across there. Yeah, I think that looks good. There's my tag. Okay. Do you think I should go ahead and try stamping? This is ridiculous, like trying to stamp freehand without like a flat surface. That's going to be a little bit scary. But let's try it. What the heck, right? Okay, so that little star stamp is like tiny. It's this. It's so tiny. So I'm just going to drop it on here. And get my Just Jade out. Okay, I'm just looking around. Maybe I could put the block behind here while I stamp, and that will provide some support. That worked out. Okay. Just double checking. That's inked. Okay, so let's go. Let's see. Well, this is not going to work out too badly. Oh, I gotta be careful. I got a little bit of ink on my block. I'm gonna clean that off. Okay. Okay. It's a really cute star stamp. Maybe just a couple more. Okay, what do you think? Oh, some of them are covered up. Maybe I'll put just a couple more on the sides here. I think that's good. All right, so this is, I'll show you with the Ferrero Rocher. I can fill it in, put them inside. Let's see if I can fit 3. Yeah, I can fit 3. Awesome, see? And then you can use a glue dot to shut it. And that's the bagalope. Looks good. All right, so that's it. So thanks for joining in, and please like or comment and let me know that you watched, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.